in spring, a dashing rake, a sweet young thing. He stops, she turns, he looks, she grins. Papa, the little comedy begins.
Bowing low, he murmurs good day. Her eyes aglow, she bids him stay. His air deceives,
her tone misleads.
Sis boom ba, the little comedy proceeds. Now begins the masquerade, wherein the snares and traps are laid. The outward show,
The coy disguise,
the trumped-up tale,
the monstrous lies.
linking arms and acting their parts.
They ply their charms, they pledge their hearts. The night,
The wine,
the moon above, ooh la la, the little comedy of love.
now the fears and doubts commence.
Can love be real with such pretense?
The ruse confess,
The joke enjoyed,
the truth revealed.
the dream destroyed.
And they dance, but can they retrieve the sweet romance of make-believe? The joy,
The bliss,
the grief,
the strife. The little comedy.
the comedy of life.
Alfred von Wilmers to Theodore Dealing in Naples. Dear Theodore, here I am again, your faithful correspondent replying to your last letter. Ah, friend, how I envy you. The life you are leading glows and sparkles at me through your lines. To be free, to have quit this city and its predatory females, I cannot tell you how jealous I am. You've no idea how dreary life in Vienna has become, especially if you are rich, unattached, and reasonably handsome. The other evening, Fritz and the others invited me to join them. I went, desperate for a bit of diversion. I drank, quite heavily, but all I got from my troubles was a splitting headache. And that girl Fritz is seeing, Mitzi, she flirted with me again. Was I amused? No. Angry. Emptiness, I tell you, emptiness. Headache instead of rapture is the hallmark of my existence. I've made a rendezvous with Fritz and the others for tonight, but I'm not going. Instead, I shall visit the amusement park and mix with the rabble. Let Mitzi cheat on Fritz with someone else. Oh, for her, the act of cheating is certainly more important than I am. It is clear something wonderful is going to have to come along to excite me. Till then, give the Neapolitans my regards. Yours, Alfred.
Josephine Venninger to Helene Bayard in Paris. My dearest Helene, many thanks for your recent letter. Big news here. Can you guess? It happened last Tuesday evening. Emile sent word saying he couldn't come to visit. He's been doing that quite frequently as of late, sometimes as often as 2 or 3 times a week. Well, it was a lovely evening, and I thought, Pepe, you are not going to sit home alone and pine for a meal. No, you are going to take a cab for a ride, which I did. So, there I am, riding around the ring, when suddenly I realize we are at the crossroads. Emile and I, that is. Our affair is ending and must be dealt with. I decide to tell him next time we meet. Really, Emile, I will say, why prolong the inevitable? Goodbye, Emile, adieu. We might as well face up to it. We're through. But don't you fret, I shan't be any worse off than before. To tell the truth, Emile, you always were a crashing bore. So long, Emile, ta-ta. I always found your taste a bit bourgeois. I never shared your dreary views on politics and art. You often touched my body, but you never touched my heart. The best way to describe my feelings, knowing we must part. Emile, hurrah! Did you think that I would cry? But I can't imagine why. You can't have thought this love you bought was real. It was never true romance, just a question of finance. And to be quite blunt, Emile, I got the short end of the deal. Goodbye, Emile, mine heir. What memories I'll have of this affair? Those weekends up near Salzburg at that garish little inn. The countless nights you fell asleep from drinking too much gin. The card games that I cheated at so I could let you win. Oh, if people only knew how dull it was to live in sin. My eyes, Emile, are dry, although the time for ending it is nigh. Whatever passions I had felt have turned completely cold. My mind's made up, I won't be threatened, flattered or cajoled. Besides, I hear you're dating someone 17 years old. Emile, you hear? Goodbye. after 9 o'clock when I returned home.
Fräulein! Oh, Fräulein! The gentleman! He has been here for an hour already!
What? I think? Then on into the red room.
So,
He says.
and where have you been, my Fräulein?
I answer him calmly, as there is no reason to lie. After you wrote you weren't coming, I took a cab for a ride because the weather was so nice. What's the matter, I say? So I leave him and give Lena my coat, sending her out for more cigarettes. Then I go back in because I have had enough. Emile, if you don't like me going for a ride, why don't you say so? When you write you're not coming, I am not obliged to sit at home and mope. I tell him without the case I'd be aside going through it as often as 2 or 3 times a week.
You're quite right. We can't go on like this. I can't expect you to sit home alone 4 nights a week.
Aha, I think. So why do you make a face? And why do you come after you've sent word you're not coming? And why do you send word you're not coming when you are coming after all?
There was a time, Pepe,
He says.
when you were happy if I came unexpectedly. Of course, that's a thing of the past now.
And so on, saying he would send word less frequently he wasn't coming. But he assumes I don't mind too terribly much since I... You've come to say goodbye.
No. What kind of talk is that?
Be glad I'm making it so easy for you. Another time you might not catch me in such a good mood.
Yes, of course, because you're glad about it yourself. You want to be rid of me. Well, it needn't have come to this.
He says.
But a man notices such things, and it's really no surprise if he begins longing for true love.
True love? I remain calm. You're quite right, I say. But I don't believe either of us is the guilty party. And I tell him I've always been very fond of him. And I hope that he can find a creature half as fond of him as I have been. One who will make him truly happy. And do you know, Helene, at that moment I felt I really did like him very much. Such a parting always has something touching about it, even if one has been looking forward to it for a very long time.
And as for my part, I shall remain your friend for life.
He says.
But because I am your friend, I must be honest and say goodbye.
Goodbye, Emile. Farewell. My thanks for buying what I had to sell. I wish you all the best, Emile. Good luck, long life, and cheers. And look, Emile, I'm even shedding sentimental tears. I wonder, did you know that I was faithful 2 whole years? Emile, my love, goodbye. Write soon, won't you? Love and kisses, your old friend, Josephine.
Alfred Vaudeville, Theodore Teeling in Naples. Dear friend and poet, my envy knows no bounds. Your new girl sounds delightful. As for me, I am lonelier than since I wrote you last. I go for a long walk around the ring by myself. Morning dawns. The air's marvelous. And suddenly, I'm overcome with memories. Remember the girls we used to chase, Teddy? Girls who wanted nothing more than a Sunday outing, a long walk in the forest, a seat in the 3rd tier at the operetta, and very, very much love. Oh, how nice it was back then, and how spoiled I have become since I became so chic and elegant, so anxious to possess the best-dressed woman in Vienna. Who knows how many exquisite creatures I've blindly passed up. Teddy, this man in the mirror, this is not what I meant. I want a second chance. Nothing's gone the way I planned. My life has taken turns I don't begin to understand. I hear the drum, my time has come. The play's about to start, but I can't recall my part. Is the mask I'm wearing comical or tragic? Something precious has been lost. My mind keeps going over all the bridges I have crossed. Yet strange to say, as dark and gray and hopeless as it seems, I am not without my dreams. Though it sounds naive, I still believe in magic. Why is it too late for falling in love? Isn't there some chance of finding romance with someone young and sweet, someone I have yet to meet? There's a voice inside my head that keeps repeating, it's not too late, it's not too late, it's not too late.
Josephine Benninger to Helene Bayard in Paris. My dearest Helene, you ask if there's any news. Well, I've hardly been out at all. I did go to the theater the other night and used the occasion to take a good look at myself. I saw a number of men I knew, including one of your former ones, Karl Zabelberger. A nice face, but not much else. Anyway, I put the question to myself. Who among all these elegant gentlemen would stand a chance with you, Pepe? And the answer? None. What I need is something new, a sort of youthful experience. But then I'll be ready to try my hand again against all those 17-year-old trollops. But he has to be interesting. An artist, perhaps. Yes, with long hair and no money at all for all I care. Oh, what does it matter, as long as he's attractive? Lately I've been taking stock. I find I'm growing wary of the ticking of the clock. The years have passed, and I've amassed my share of souvenirs. Yet each day the dawn appears, and the hope within me just continues growing. Why is it too late for falling in love?
Isn't there some chance of finding romance?
Just walking down the street, heaven knows who I might meet.
There's a voice inside my head that keeps repeating,
it's not too late. Don't ever give up hope. It's not
Your
too
dreams will never
late.
There's still a chance to find romance with someone young and sweet, someone I have yet to meet. Just as long as there's a heart within you beating, it's not too late. It's not too late. It's not too late. It's not too late. Alfred von Wilmer's the theater dealing in Naples. My dear good friend.
My sweet, wonderful Helene.
Great news.
Guess what?
Guess what?
Great news.
Remember how I told you I was dying for a woman who would love me for myself alone and not because I'm rich? Well, I met someone.
Remember how I told you I was tired of the high life and I longed to meet a fellow who had yet to find his niche? Well, I met someone.
Isn't that a switch?
I met someone. But when I haven't told you how it came about, prepare yourself.
You're in for a surprise.
It was quite a merry escapade.
You won't believe the the girl
while wearing a disguise,
hard disguise. The truth is, I was bored with myself. I wanted to be someone else.
I was determined to have an adventure, someone handsome for a change and not a big spender.
So I dressed in my old hunting jacket, loose flowing tie, soft hat, and go for a walk. Oh, you've no idea how disguised I felt. I looked like a house painter.
A little calico dress, a straw hat, and I become the girl from the outskirts. You should have heard Lena. For all I know, but so pretty.
You see, for once I wanted the assurance I wouldn't have to thank my tailor or my ability to foot the bill for any conquest I might make.
So I go for a stroll thinking, today I shall pick a man just because I like him.
By 3, I reach the city line. I light up a cigarette and lean against a lamppost, watching the lovers go by.
I walk down the Alsterstrasse. From underneath my pedestal, I take a good look at every man who passes by.
Suddenly, my mood becomes gloomy again. The whole repulsive dreariness of Sunday bourgeois life pours over me.
I must confess, I almost lost interest in the whole scheme right from the beginning. But just then...
A girl, no longer quite young, 22 or so, wonderful and quite alone.
My first impression is, he's waiting for someone.
Simple flowered dress, slim, willowy figure, not tall, wonderful eyes, parasol. Open.
My second is, he's terribly handsome and an artist that was quite clear. Worth a try.
Very nice.
Charming.
And saints be praised, not a virgin. Small telltale folds around the eyes and a trace around the mouth. That only come when one has kissed and bitten many times.
Absolutely not elegant, but a nice, well-groomed complexion. Nice way of standing. Exactly what I need.
Giving up so easily?
What was that?
Forgive me. I was being impertinent, but why not give your friend a chance? Perhaps he will not disappoint you after all.
There's little chance of that. This isn't the first time, you know.
Oh, dear. But whatever will you do?
Go for a walk, just as I had planned. Oh, the fresh air will still be there, whether Emile is or not.
Then perhaps you would care for some company.
If it gives you pleasure. So, what do you do, anyway?
Do?
For a living?
Me? Well, that is... Why don't you guess?
An artist.
An artist? But what sort?
A poet. Tell the truth, I was right, wasn't I? I knew it the moment I saw you.
And she goes on, asking whether I've been writing for a long time, whether I write very beautiful poetry, whether I enjoy it. And oh, what a merry string of lies I begin to tell her. Really, I must compliment myself. Whoever knew I was such a splendid actor? I gave a performance. I did myself proud. The way I had to improvise, I nearly laughed out loud. Oh, what a performance. I wish you had heard. I told the most outrageous lies. She swallowed every word. I played the part of an artist who has nothing. A poet with passion in his soul. How eager to believe she was. How easy to deceive she was. I must have had great feeling for the role. Oh, what a performance. It worked like a charm. A somewhat shameful enterprise. But really, what's the harm? But enough about me. I want to hear about you.
But there's so little to tell.
Nonsense. If it's about you, I should find it endlessly fascinating. Tell me everything, where you live, where you work.
If you're certain you want to hear it.
I can't think of any story I'd rather hear more.
And what a cock and bull story it was. A lover who doesn't want me anymore. An old aunt with whom I've had a falling out. A job in a millinery shop. Do you know, Helene? I felt as if I were back on stage again. Acting for a living. Oh, what a performance. I sparkled on cue as if it were French comedy. And I, the ingenue, I played the part of a martyred little seamstress whose lover has left her all alone. How easy to mislead he was, how eager to misread he was. You'd think the story paralleled my own. He bought my performance. He even seemed moved. Now please don't tell Mama on me. She'd never have approved. So, there it is. The whole sordid story.
And this Emile fellow, you love him very much?
Oh, yes. Of course, it is also a question of habit. And what about you? Surely you have a sweetheart?
Yes. No, actually, Mitzi and I, we no longer... Oh, well.
Poor Alfred.
Peppy, I must tell you, I have the strangest feeling about whatever it is led us here today.
Yes.
Think of it. The special moment of our meeting.
Yes.
The similarity of our stories.
Yes.
Say that I'm mad,
No.
but doesn't it seem more than mere coincidence?
Don't be afraid
Perhaps...
to say it, Alfred. I feel it too. Destiny. Do you know, I have always had a secret longing for a poet.
Really? And I've been longing for someone exactly like you, exactly like the vision I saw strolling down the Alsterstrasse with a parasol and a straw hat.
Oh, Alfred!
Peppy. And so we dined together that evening. At one of those bourgeois taverns I normally steer away from. But how nice it seemed sharing it with her.
I wasn't bored for a moment, and when he held my hand in the restaurant, I had a nice cozy feeling I haven't had for a very long time.
How well we felt cannot be described. We ordered a frugal dinner, had famous appetites, and were enormously happy.
It was lovely riding home in the hackney. At the city line, I jumped out. You see, for him, I live somewhere near there, in a side street.
A single room, apparently, is all she has. This Emile fellow used to keep it filled with flowers, but that's all over now.
Some girl has made a fool of him recently, or I am no longer a judge of men. Money. Dinners at the Sacre and diamond baubles are completely out of the question.
Hearing her story, I was overcome with tenderness. The girl has so little knowledge of the real world.
I was truly touched. You have no idea what a poor artist must endure. And half of everything he earns goes to his invalid mother.
Sweet child.
Poor dear creature.
She never suspected a thing.
I played my part from the start to the finish. And after I blushed at what I'd done.
How wicked and debased I was.
How brazenly two-faced I was.
I can't remember having so much fun.
Oh, what a performance.
That would have was. Perhaps I really shouldn't have. But no time for remorse. Although I know I may be tempting fate. I'm going on again tonight. Alfred von Wilmers to Theodore Dealing in Naples. How long since I wrote you? A day, 2, 3, a month? If anyone had told me a week ago that something like this could happen. Oh, there. At least I've regained my sense of time. Yes, it is Sunday, A week since it began, and we meet nightly, only to eat in dark cafes, drink cheap wine, and listen to bands blaring in the park. Oh, it sounds dreadful, I know, but what sweet music has entered my life? Monday evening, the band played a polka, a new lively polka with a military air. Monday evening, the band played a polka, and my new love and I, we were there. Rum-tum-tum, tiddy-tum, went the drum, tiddy-tum, and the squeeze box kept wheezing along. Toot-toot-toot, toodaloot, toodaloot, sang the flute, toodaloot, toodaloot, and I'll always remember the song.
Forgive my not writing, dearest Elaine. Alfred takes up every moment. This past week has been like a beautiful dream. No, like a wonderful song that plays over and over in my head. Tuesday evening, the band played a polka, the same lively polka we had heard the night before. Tuesday evening, the band played a polka, and my new love and I took the floor. Starting slow, off we go, and the squeeze box kept wheezing along. Turn and then, once again, and I'll always remember the song.
By Wednesday evening, the song had caught on so that the crowd had grown in size.
Come Thursday evening, the people in the know had begun to improvise, and the squeeze box kept wheezing along. Me, right on key, and we hardly got any notes wrong.
Encored the polka.
We danced to the polka, and the stars were burning bright. Friday evening, they encored the polka, and my new love and I spent the night. And the squeeze box kept wheezing along.
And the whole night it kept going strong. That next evening we drank to the polka. We toasted the polka at a neighborhood saloon. That next evening we drank to the polka we were two lovers singing in tune. Rum-tum-tum, tiddy-tum, went the drum, tiddy-tum, and the squeeze box kept wheezing along. Toot-toot-toot-toot-toot-toot, sang the flute, and I'll always remember the song. I'll always remember the song. Dear Teddy. I am living in a sentimental idyll. I spend hours merely staring at the sky. Days are nothing but a blur. Nights are sweetly spent with her. I'm so happy, happy, happy. could cry. I'm so carefree, people think me suicidal. I'm as daring as the man on the trapeze. When I'm with her, my heart skips. Words come tripping from my lips. I'm so happy, 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 and at ease. And the strange thing is, I'm no longer acting a part. I'm actually living it. When I put on my old hunting jacket, loose flowing tie, soft hat, and go out for the evening, I feel it could not possibly be any other way. I've almost forgotten it's only lies I'm telling her about myself. For the main point is true. That is, I haven't felt this way for an incredibly long time. At the thought life could be otherwise, I bridle. It's as if the world began the day we met. She's a cherub, she's a lamb, being loved just as I am makes me happy, 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 happy. And yet, I must confess to a certain sadness whenever I contemplate her future, for I already know full well I must leave her. I have conjectured what would happen if I were to appear to her in my true form. It would be much too painful for her to realize how truly far apart we are in life. She's grown so fond of so many experiences in my make-believe past. Oh, Teddy, I hope you don't mind. She wanted to hear tales of my life as a starving student in Berlin, and having none of my own, I borrowed yours. Oh, she felt quite sorry for us. I believe she earns enough and suffers no real lack. And yet you've no idea how frantically the urge sometimes strikes me to create a rich, carefree life for the sweet child. But I dare not even hint at it. Destroy her illusions and I ruin everything.
How well suited we are, darling. Both poor as church mice. Thank heaven we don't need money to be happy.
She's not like other women of Vienna. Her sights aren't set on the sky. Eager to please, never hard to appease, she's quite satisfied. Eating dried bread and cheese.
Finish up, darling. Heaven knows when we can afford to dine like this again.
She differs from the women of Vienna. She treasures each trinket I buy. Wasting a cent is a major event. And she cries bitter tears when she hears where it went.
Violets for me? Oh, darling, you shouldn't have. You have your rent to pay.
The girl wears no diamonds, no spangles or beads. Severely austere is the life that she leads. How I would love to provide for her needs. But I fear what she loves most in me may prove to be my poverty.
And you nearly died of hunger? How awful for you! But how terribly romantic.
I think of other women of Vienna, and damned if I don't start to cry. One day she'll learn I have money to burn, and I'm certain to gain her disdain in return.
I'm glad you're not shallow like him.
I am not the starving pauper she assumed.
Put away your wallet, darling. You've spent too much.
It's clear to me the means I have, means our affair is doomed. Enough. You'll hear from me again soon, although not from Vienna. After spending a blissful night in the country last Friday, we have decided to withdraw to an even more secluded place for at least a week. Well, you know how it is. Young love, young love. I'm so happy, 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 and oh, I really am getting too old for this. In love.
staying at Helene Bayer in Paris. My dear Helene, this has to be short, as I am joining Alfred for a romantic week in the country. My only worry is how he's going to pay for the trip, for it's downright amusing how little money the man has. Now, as for your letter, really, if you're going to worry about me so much, I won't tell you anything. Your old friend wasn't born yesterday. I know the real thing when I see it. Yes, it's love, no doubt about it. What else can make me feel this good? Yes, it's love. Why should I deny it? I'd take a steady diet if I could. Yes, it's love. Feel free to shout it, spread it around the neighborhood. No, it's not a crazy lady writing the above. But yes, 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 it's love, it's love. Yes, it's love, there's no confusion. I'm not a novice to the game. Yes, it's love, pure in every facet, though he is not an asset to his name. Yes, it's love, not an illusion, sending my very soul aflame. Drinking liquor to excess. But am I drunk? Oh, yes. Have you ever fallen for a poet? I dare say they are of a race apart. They can't do much to fill your empty stomach. Don't I know it? But oh, can they do wonders for your heart? Yes, it's love. I know the symptoms. I've got a healthy dose. And how? No, it isn't wedding bells that I've been dreaming of. But yes, it's love for now. About his days as a student in Berlin. I really am glad to bring him some happiness after the way people, especially women, have treated him. Females can be such heartless vixens. Now, as for the future, have no fear. Alfred is much too conscientious to tie me to his uncertain fate, for he often speaks of the future and becomes quite sad. It would be nice. But after all, one can't spend one's entire life riding the omnibus. Yes, it's love. Then comes the curtain when I will simply disappear. Yes, I know that in the end he has to get the shove. But until then, it's love.
My darling, come see what I found in the forest. Peppy. Alfred von Wilmers to Theodore Dealing in Naples. Take a look at the postmark. You've no idea where this letter's from. There is no post office here. A messenger must come, fetch the letter, and take it to the nearest village, which is 4 kilometers away. My Josephine is napping, as she usually does at this hour. I, in the meantime, am supposed to be writing poetry. Actually, I tried it on the first day to give her pleasure, but you know what? It's really quite hard. And I chose an original theme at that, love! But it's no use. Inspiration does not come. Perhaps it is the surroundings, although with all the peace and quiet, it ought to be ideal for a poet. We are staying at a rustic country inn. I'm the happiest that I have ever been. Though our lodgings are remote, over 30 leagues from town, I have hardly even noticed the decrepit and run down. We go walking in the forest every day. There is nothing else to do here anyway. But it's easy on the purse, though the bed's in disrepair, and I've eaten food that's worse, though I can't remember where. So peaceful, so tranquil, no loud, obnoxious outsiders. Not a thing that might intrude on our solitary mood, just she and I and the spiders. If you're looking for a cozy little spot, let me make it clear that's what this spot is not. But the fresh air is a treat, we delight in every breath, and it's lucky we are sweethearts, or we both be bored to death. Oh! Blast!
Alfred.
Forgive me for waking you, dearest. It's these damn insects.
Oh, poor darling. I know. Come sit beside me and read me the sonnet you've been writing.
Oh, not just now, dear. I thought perhaps another stroll?
I don't think so, dearest. I'm quite enjoying just lying here, breathing in the delicious country air.
Lovely, isn't it?
Priceless.
I shan't be gone long, my love. Enjoy your nap.
Josephine Bellinger to Helene Bayard in Paris. In haste, as I am never alone for a moment. We are out here in the provinces, quite isolated. Alfred is such a dear creature. I feel it is good for him, after all he has suffered, to recuperate in the forest solitude. I am only sorry for him that he has no money at all. We've been at this rustic country in a week. It's romantic, though it's anything but chic. Our affair is still intense. In the bedroom, total bliss. I must love the man immensely to endure a place like this. It's a sort of spot Seurat might want to sketch, which is why I sleep for hours at a stretch. It's a perfect place to swim if it only had a lake. People come here for the simple life or simply by mistake. Not a single soul inside, not a thing to do at night, nothing to distract me from my lover. At our table where we dine, they pour a most uncommon wine. Give me a month, I'm certain to recover, if you happen to be passing by someday. My advice is turn and run the other way. Still, we're feeling in the pink, so I really can't complain, though I can't begin to think what we would do if it should rain.
Oh, I've never seen anything like it. One moment sunshine, the next a deluge.
Poor darling, come sit and let me dry you off.
Oh, Peppy, I've been thinking.
Yes, dearest.
Oh, no, it wouldn't be fair.
Oh, really, Alfred? If you can't be honest with me.
Oh, very well. You remember my mother?
The invalid.
Yes, that's the one. Well, last night I had a dream. More of a nightmare, really. The neighbor I'd asked to look in on her was taken ill. And there was my mother left all alone.
Oh, Alfred, we must return to Vienna at once.
But it was only a dream. Perhaps I'm being silly?
Not at all. The dreams of a poet are especially significant.
But it's so unfair to you to cut our vacation short.
To be quite honest, I was feeling a bit anxious myself.
You were? But why?
In my job, at the millinery shop, what with the new season coming up, they might look for another girl.
Another girl? Peppy, I cannot let you put your career in jeopardy. I won't allow it. I should send you back tonight, even if Mother didn't need me.
Then it is all settled.
We can take the evening train. I've already inquired.
How wonderful. That is, How wonderful it has been sharing this time with you.
Yes, it has been nice, hasn't it?
Enchanting.
Let's pack.
In a packing up to leave, I blush to say we were jollier
Than we had been all day. Now I don't mean to complain, we both had a lovely time.
But it goes against the grain to have to deal with filth
And grime. Oh, the week we spent was grand, but we found to our chagrin there is so much one can stand when in a rustic country here.
Alfred, I don't understand you. Throwing away money on a first-class compartment.
It was a foolish extravagance, I know, but it was worth it. To see the delighted look in your eyes.
Dear Alfred.
We shall meet again tomorrow, the usual place.
I wouldn't miss it for the world.
Good, then I shall summon a fiacre and off you go.
A carriage, too, but Alfred, what has come over you?
Why, you deserve such things, my love, and more. Besides, I had a little money left over since we cut our vacation short. But hurry now, the man won't wait.
I do love you, you know.
And I you. With all my heart.
I'd better go.
That Theodore was yesterday. Today, the following shall happen. In 1 hour, I shall take my stand before her. That is to say, in my true form. I shall risk it because she loves me. We are to meet at 8 by the city line as usual. Only this time, I'll not wear my old hunting jacket, loose flowing tie, and soft hat. No, this time I shall ride up in a fiacre, dressed in unspeakably elegant evening clothes, and I shall invite Fräulein Peppy to take a seat by my side. And then I shall explain that I have played a shameful trick, that I am actually a man of means who unfortunately cannot write poetry at all. It will be a blow to her, I know, but the way she reacted when I bought first-class seats on the train gives me hope I shall be able to console her. Oh, do you know, I'm actually glad to be able to walk the streets tonight as a reasonable man. Oh. Just now, Peppy is putting down her work and preparing to meet me. Oh, poor child. It does me good to know that soon I shall be in a situation to improve her position a little. But just think, for a whole period of time, 19 days in fact, I was loved for my own sake. Well, what have I got to lose?
Josephine Venninger to Helene Bayer in Paris. My dear Helene, by the time you receive this, it will be all over. Tonight I tell Alfred who and what I really am. And after the inevitable scene, that will be the end of it. Promise me something. Don't let me be fool enough to go through this a second time. If there should come a day a new love comes my way, I count on you to really be a friend. Remind me if my heart starts taking flight of the night it had to end. it could be I'll forget the sorrow and regret and find myself in love again someday. Remind me if I'm starry-eyed of what it felt like deep inside on the night he walked away. Be a friend and remind me, like a good friend always does, if I've put the hurt behind me. Please remind me how destroyed I was. I doubt I'll have a lapse. But then again, perhaps it could be someone new will catch my eye. Well, should the past become a blur, remind me what my feelings were on the night he said goodbye. Be a friend and remind me how it all can fall apart. Don't allow the stars to blind me. Please remind me love can break your heart. If I get swept away, don't hesitate to say the kind of things a friend should tell a friend. Speak openly and honestly, and if need be, point out to me how my heart has yet to mend since the night it had to
Peppy?
Alfred?
Peppy and...
Alfred!
Peppy, my darling!
Alfred, my love! I'm awfully glad, aren't you?
Oh, yes, Angel, yes, and relieved. But this whole thing is operetta. Pure operetta.
That's all he kept saying, Helene, over and over again. He must have repeated it 10 times.
Operetta, Theodore, pure operetta.
And to think that all this time...
Yes, all this time.
On the way to dinner, we told each other everything. Imagine he played the same comedy with me as I played with him.
The whole thing was a farce from beginning to end. She's done just as little sewing as I have poetry.
We had an expensive meal served in a tent, such as we hadn't had in a very long time. We went over the whole affair from the beginning and became very gay.
She's accustomed to gowns worth 500 to 1,000, hats costing 80. She has diamonds and pearls and a very active past behind her.
After champagne, he promised we would go to Dieppe together. That's the important news.
Well, the bags are packed. I'm going to Dieppe with her, and of course, we'll pay her bills.
Above all, I believe he's a good acquisition. And considering I also love him a little, I believe I've gotten my money's worth of this little comedy.
She will be kept by me, and the day after tomorrow, she will cheat on me. Oh, don't think I'm being an optimist because I say the day after tomorrow. There really is no opportunity on the train.
After Dieppe, I'll convince him to take me to Paris. Don't expect a letter. We'll wire when we know our plans. And to think, the day before yesterday, I still thought he was a poet. Sly old fox.
Cunning little vixen. I never did trust her.
Him. Now the fears and doubts commence.
Can love be real with such pretense?
The ruse confess.
The joke enjoyed.
The truth revealed.
The dream destroyed.
On they dance, but can they retrieve the sweet romance of make-believe?
A year from now, I'll cast her off.
A year from now, I'll be his wife.
My wife. The little comedy.
The comedy of life.
Busy afternoon. Brake lights all the way up and down. You are out of the city.
What do you say we try to get away? We all could use a change of scene. What if we take a little seasonal break from the usual routine?
Let's get out of the city. We all could use a breath of air. How would you feel if we could swing us a deal for a summer share? A summer share. A summer share. Miles away from the city, we'll find a small retreat somewhere. You need a rest. I think it pays to invest in a summer share. A summer share. A summer share.
We come out for the weekend, and all I want to do is collapse. Sam is so understanding. He never complains.
I've never been a night person, and Monica accepts that. Look, I work hard, I play hard. I need my 8 hours. A summer share. A summer share. A summer share.
I feel so guilty sometimes. I want to be more available to Sam, but with my new promotion and the twins being born,
Sure, I'd like to slow down, who wouldn't? Just give me a few years when I've got seniority in the firm. A summer share. A summer share. A summer share.
is a woman. Oh, come on. This is the 20th century.
Jealous? What for? Sam's a great guy. You know, I never have to worry about forgetting Monica's birthday. Sam calls and reminds me. Someplace out in the country, away from all the wear and tear. Leave all the strife, take out a new lease on life. With a summer share, a summer share, a summer share, a summer share.
The nice part is we all get along so well. Everybody respects the rules.
No one's gonna step over the line. We all have too much to lose.
Would you look at that moon? Sam, come look at this moon.
God, how can people sleep with a moon like that in the sky?
You kidding? It's 2:30 in the morning. At this hour, my husband could sleep through sex. And frequently does.
Be nice. Lenny works very long hours.
Hey, don't get me wrong. Our evenings may be a washout, but our mornings are terrific. The sun comes up, so does Lenny. Should we wake up Barb?
No, leave her. She's in the kids' room tonight. She's afraid Kimmy's coming down with something. I told her it's nothing, but you know how she gets.
Don't roll your eyes. Your wife is a terrific lady.
One of the best.
One of the best. Oh, have we been comparison shopping?
Monica, I've told you, I have never cheated. Not once in 13 years of marriage.
Forget it. You wouldn't tell me if you had.
Yes, I would. You're my best friend. I tell you everything.
All right. Then tell the truth. Come on. Confess.
Okay. There was this one wild weekend in Duluth.
Give me a break.
Give me a break. There happen to be such things as faithful husbands.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, I'm living proof. And so, I bet, is Lenny. You want another drink?
Don't be ridiculous when I can eat.
Is that amazing ice cream or what?
The best.
You know what else is amazing? Us. How long have we been friends now? Through college? My Barb, your Lenny. That's a pretty impressive record.
This is pretty impressive mocha almond fudge.
Hey, jerkhead. I'm waxing sentimental here.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Wax.
I mean, look at us. A normal, healthy male. An attractive, relatively well-balanced female. And yet, here we are. Proof that platonic relationships really work.
Think of the odds, a man and a woman. She isn't frigid and he isn't gay.
Think of the odds. What do you wager? Sexual issues will get in the way.
How many say there's a definite threat?
Come on and play, it's called marriage roulette. Think of the odds and place your bet.
So we're platonic. What's the big deal?
After all these years, that's a big accomplishment. Don't tell me Lenny doesn't sleep better at night knowing I'm the one person who's not going to make a pass at his wife.
Oh, absolutely.
He says so all the time. Of all my girlfriends, you are his favorite.
Think of the odds, a man and a woman. Listen in closely and fill in the gaps.
Think of the odds. What do you venture? Both harbor feelings they keep under wraps.
How many think she is ripe for romance?
How many think he might make an advance?
Given the odds,
there's half a chance. Not that she would ever be willing.
my faith in him is implicit.
But there's nothing half so thrilling as doing something illicit.
Think of the odds. They're walking a tightrope, carefully keeping their friendship intact.
Think of the odds. Are we in trouble? Can they continue their balancing act?
Friendships with men can be very complex.
Especially when he keeps flexing his pecs.
Given the odds,
We'll break their necks.
And I suppose Barb is convinced I'm ready to pounce on you the moment her back is turned.
Oh, she used to be. You come on pretty strong. But over the years, she's come to realize that you are strictly a NATO personality.
NATO?
No action, talk only.
if only I had bought that ultra sexy lingerie.
If only we had had that little matinee today, maybe I would feel a tad less nervous.
A tad less nervous. Oh, I do admit I've been a bit preoccupied of late.
I always have suspected that the two of them were...
Wait! We're doing them a disservice. Think of the odds, they're happily married. Both of them know very well what's at stake.
Think of the odds. Can they be trusted?
Those are the chances you just have to take. I am the one that he marries, not her.
100 to 1, not a thing will occur.
Through thick and thin, all the boundaries will hold.
Why go for trinkets instead of pure gold?
And given a friendship so strong, one that has lasted so long, I bet the odds prove wrong. God, let the odds prove wrong. End of song.
What about you?
What about me?
Did you ever cheat on Lenny?
Oh, nice question.
Hey, what's wrong? You asked me.
The answer is no.
You wouldn't tell me if you had.
Of course I would. I tell you everything. You're my best friend.
I bet lots of guys have made passes.
Not that many.
Oh, come on, you can't tell me no man has ever tried.
Yes, men have tried, but without success.
Oh, to Our Lady of the Hamptons.
Hey, that's not fair. You asked if I've been faithful. I have, but I'm not shouting from the rooftops. I always will be.
Meaning, you do think about it.
Meaning, I allow for the possibility. Remote as that might be.
Is it? Say some movie star made a pass. Robert Redford.
Mel Gibson.
Okay, Mel Gibson. Would you be unfaithful to Lenny?
Lenny who? I'm kidding. I'm just kidding.
Hey, don't apologize. It's all right to have fantasies. It just so happens I have a few of my own.
Oh, who with?
Different women. Lots of different women. Don't get any ideas. It doesn't mean I love Barb any less. It just means I have an active imagination. Make that very active. I'm as faithful as they come, but in my dreams I live each moment to the maximum. I do the clubs, I got the moves, I'm where the bright lights are, and I play the bass guitar. but who says I can't have my romantic notions? Never say too late for chasing a dream. Never say no chance. Who knows when romance might sweep you off your feet? Hope is never obsolete. There's a voice inside my head that keeps repeating, it's not too late. It's not too late.
My, aren't we the trashy ones?
Me? What about you and Mel Gibson?
We couldn't help it. It was bigger than both of us.
In my dreams, I'm caught off guard. He looks at me, I look at him. We both start breathing hard.
I cruise around, I cover ground, there's women at my feet.
You can almost feel the heat.
Every night I bag another gorgeous knockout.
We go up to his hotel suite and we rock out.
Never say too late for chasing a dream. Never say no chance.
Who knows when romance might sweep you off your feet?
Hope is never obsolete, just as long as there's a heart within you beating. It's not too late. It's not too late.
Not too late.
Not too late. Not too.
Not too late. Not too
Never too late. It's not too late. It's not too late. Okay, all right. It's fun to toy around with the idea, but let's be honest. Neither one of us is in the market for an affair.
I know I'm not.
Why should you be? With a husband like yours. I mean, Lenny. Lenny is successful,
Very
young, handsome,
distinguished.
handsome. Handsomer than me.
Oh, now, you've got your good points.
Agreed. I have the better body, but he's in very good shape.
Excellent. Bit prone to migraines.
Not surprising. Consider the stress being married to the prettiest woman on the Upper West Side.
One of the prettiest.
And since you love Lenny very much,
Very much.
and he loves you,
Madly.
I conclude you're very seldom bored.
Well, let's talk about you for a moment. Now, you're doing quite well.
I'm doing better than that.
Now, as for Barb,
Hey, wait a second. We left the subject of me pretty quickly.
given the choice, I'd rather talk about Barb, who's worth two of you. Admit it, she's a gem.
She's priceless.
And beautiful in a way that's all her own.
And all mine.
You know, she only has good qualities. There's nothing about her I don't admire.
She even has virtues. The only woman I know who truly does.
Face it, when you've got a wife like Barb, you stay close to home.
Can you blame me?
Who can blame either one of us? We happen to be very lucky people.
Lucky is right. She comes in to talk while I shave, and I'm so glad I married her.
Honey, we have to deal with these bills sometime.
He laughs when the kids misbehave, and I'm so glad I married him.
Can we talk about this later?
She's worrying over her clothes.
I am not vain.
He's washing the car with the hose.
Penny saved is a penny earned.
It's late and he's starting to doze, and
I need my 8 hours.
I'm so glad I married her.
don't you forget it.
So glad I married him.
I was drunk, she meant nothing.
So glad he's part of my life. It's the little uneventful moments.
Like
Like
vacuuming the rug.
it's nothing intense.
Just daily events that give your heart a tug.
I look at the rest of my friends, and I'm so pleased how things work out.
I read books that she recommends, and I don't have the slightest doubt.
He has certain faults, to be sure,
She's fussy and too insecure. But God willing, we will endure, 'cause I'm so glad I married her. So glad we're husband and wife.
They're smiling, but look underneath.
why would I want life otherwise?
The two of them lie through their teeth.
She's a gem, wife and mother-wise.
The hunter is stalking his prey.
Her willpower's dwindling away. It murders me hearing him say,
I'm so glad I married her. So glad we're husband and wife. It's the little things that really get you.
Get her.
get him.
That conquer any doubt.
He's had too much scotch.
She's eyeing his crotch.
They both
At best,
Watch out!
watch out. Watch out. She's drinking him in with her eyes.
He's pressing in close to her thighs. They're acting so open and free. He's grinning too much.
So is she.
That's not how she dances with me.
I'm so glad I married him.
So
glad I married him. So glad.
my life.
Part of my Well, good night. God, it's 3 a.m. Maybe we can get tomorrow's weather.
Now the report for the eastern end of Long Island. Seasonably cool tomorrow with variable cloudiness and scattered showers expected by late afternoon. Temperatures in the 60s with winds from the south shifting to the southeast at 9 to 13 knots. Visibility extremely
Craft warnings, sailors beware. Ill winds prevailing, if you're going sailing, you'd better take care out there. Small craft warnings, pilots please note. Strong undercurrent may be a deterrent to keeping your boat afloat. An ill wind may lead you off course.
A squall may arise when you least expect. Be as cautious as can be
If you plan to put out,
to sea. Small craft warnings are in effect.
small craft warnings, small craft warnings, small craft warnings.
lounging in a hammock, catching up on my reading, sipping from a glass of cold Chablis. No minor traumas, no major headaches, all my weekends free. So will someone please explain why I'm under such a strain? God, will you look at me? All keyed up, can't unwind. Night and day you're on my mind. How did I end up here? Can't sit still, can't think straight, can't recall which meals I ate. Damn you, am I losing weight? How did I end up here? My nerves are all a jangle, emotions in a tangle. I'm underneath the cloud and overawed. Do you know how it feels to be head over heels, having you in my every thought? I was fine, doing swell, everything was going well. Now it's all been shot to hell. Can someone volunteer? How did I end up feeling like this, on the edge of an abyss, out of sorts and in a stew? Why is it I'm spending my time teasing, taunting, testing you? Falling fast, can't hold out, filled with hope and plagued with doubt. Hardly know what I'm about, I got it real severe. I tremble when you're near. I am in love, that's clear. But somehow I got left here stranded, wanting you and empty-handed. How did I end up here?
I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but something's going on between us lately, and I'm not going to fall asleep until we talk about it.
So, talk.
You've noticed it too. I know you have. Whenever we're alone, which is every moment we can be without feeling guilty about it, we end up discussing the same thing. Love. What does love mean to you?
Would you have an affair?
How would you handle it? It's a summer's favorite game.
Beats Pictionary.
Then why do we only talk about it when Lenny and Barb are not around?
I don't know. Some things are better discussed in twos.
Why discuss it with me and not with Lenny?
You know how Lenny is. He hates these kind of conversations, says they're silly.
But you enjoy them.
Yes.
So do I. And yet I find it odd that two people who say they're best friends, strictly platonic friends, their favorite topic is making love.
Not at all. So what if we're best friends? You're still a man, I'm still a woman. We're just flirting.
Why? What's the point? When we know it'll lead to nowhere.
Well, why not? We both know our marriages are secure. So what's the harm? It's just innocent fun. Safe sex.
I guess. Or maybe flirting is our way of sending signals. Maybe one or both of us is really boasting about what terrific marriages we have. But Our celebrated marital bliss is really a crock.
Hey, I can't speak for you, Sam, but I'm very happy.
I don't believe that. Not with...
Sam, we are getting into areas where you ought to be very careful what you say.
I am tired of being careful. And I'm not making a cheap joke at Lenny's expense. But I know what happens in a marriage. There are words he doesn't say, softly in your ear. There are words he doesn't say, words you need to hear. There are places where he doesn't go, that he used to go before. There are words he doesn't say, and you miss them more and more. He doesn't say that he admires you. He doesn't praise you very much. He doesn't say that he desires you or that he hungers for your touch. So many words he doesn't use now, those little names you used to share. And there's days he blows his fuse now, and there are nights he's just not there. There are words he left behind as the years went by. There are words that come to mind, words that make you cry. You have seen the gap between you grow. It gets wider every day, and you wonder what's behind all the words he doesn't say. He used to say what he was feeling, and there were dreams that he'd confide. He used to say words so revealing that you could feel the pain inside. Now there's no words when he's hurting. He leaves you hanging in the air, and there's no words left for flirting or running fingers through your hair. There are words he doesn't say, though he knows he should. There are words he doesn't say in the way I would. And the truth is you deserve them so, and they're long past overdue. All the words he doesn't say are the words I'd say to you. There was that dress with the cherries all over it you wore to the party last weekend. I don't know another woman who could have gotten away with it. It exploded all over the room. There were guys who had to forcibly restrain themselves from picking the fruit right off your body.
I did look good that night, didn't I?
Do you know I can sense you at a party before I come in? And I immediately know I'm gonna have a nicer evening. The food tastes better, the conversation sparkles, even the candles gleam twice as bright.
I think I'm starting to enjoy this.
I've only begun. Do you know how many times I could tell you, you are not just a pretty woman. You are the pretty woman. The very ideal of a woman.
Now you're making me blush.
No, don't pull away. Come closer, I'll tell you more. God, the things I could tell you if I... What are we doing, Monica? This is crazy. Look, I said I wasn't going to make cheap jokes at Lenny's expense. I'm not so low to do the same thing with my wife.
I wouldn't let you. Barbara's too good a friend.
I love her deeply and admire her. But after all these years, I can no more talk love to her than Lenny can to you. It's not a question of sex. We have sex. Sex is fine. Everything's fine. And the thing is, all we can expect is more of the same. I mean, what do we have to look forward to? Silver anniversaries? Golden anniversaries?
Diamond jubilees.
My energies have flagged, my pectorals have sagged, but nothing's ever altered my love for you.
My teeth are in a glass. I've had a triple bypass, but one thing's never faltered, my love for you.
My blood is barely flowing.
My hearing may be going, but time has never lessened my affection.
My memory is gone, but I still can get it on.
Just point him in the right direction.
I feel as young as spring. My mood is on an upswing. My heart is beating
like it was brand new.
I feel so hale and hearty. I'm ready, girl, let's party.
Thanks to my love for
but nothing can diminish
all of my love
for you.
Darling, I'll always love you.
I was thinking something rare, something precious we could share, something done with great respect, which we'd always recollect, which would have no more effect than moonlight passing through a window. I imagined something sweet, something tender and complete. Just a moment to explore what goes on beyond the door, which would bruise our hearts no more than moonlight passing through a window. That was all I meant, one singular event, brief and innocent as moonlight passing through a window.
Keys.
What?
Get your car keys. I won't do it here, not with them in the house. We'll have to go someplace.
do it now. Hesitate and all is lost. Stop agonizing what the cost will be. Seize the opportunity now. Do it now.
Okay.
Okay, where to?
Anywhere to the sea, to the mountains, to paradise.
To Montauk. It's closer.
Okay.
Got your wallet.
Wallet.
Now's the time. Ready, take your mark and go. Stop analyzing every pro and con quick before the mood is gone. Now is prime. Now, we're gone as if we wait. Now, tomorrow is too late. Now, the moment soon will pass. Now, for God's sake, move your ass. Very soon, everything will be a blur. We'll wonder how we found the courage to do what we're about to do
Think of the odds, a man and a woman. Both of them know very well what's at stake.
Think of the odds. Can they be trusted? Those are the chances you just have to take.
We come out for the weekend, and all I want to do is collapse. Sam is so understanding. He never complains.
I've never been a night person, and Monica accepts that. Look, I work hard, I play hard. I need my 8 hours.
I feel so guilty sometimes. I want to be more available to Sam, but with my new promotion and the twins being born...
Sure, I'd like to slow down. Who wouldn't? Just give me a few years when I've got seniority in the firm.
Look, the thing is, I'm glad nothing happened, and so are you. It was wrong. We were wrong. We have promises to keep.
Threatened. Because my husband's best friend is a woman? Oh, come on. This is the 20th century.
Jealous? What for? Sam's a great guy.
Face it, Sam, you're just not cut out for it. Your idea of being adventurous is moving a piece of furniture, opening a window is a major event.
Wait a second. You didn't want this any more than I did. Why is this getting ugly?
Because I feel ugly. And hurt. And rejected. And that's not it. Because tomorrow when we face each other, it's going to be a horror show. And our friendship, which next to my marriage I value most in this world, will never be the same.
We can get past this. People make mistakes. Hell, maybe we can laugh about it or pretend it never happened.
Oh, damn it, Sam, we're not pretending anymore. This is happening now. To us. Stop dreaming.
I can't. When the sun has set and the world in silhouette, people get romantic notions.
dreams by candlelight. We invite romantic notions. Often when I reach the end of the day, I think of the way life could be. Gazing at the stars, I leave all my cares, my earthly affairs behind. Dreams don't all come true. Look at me and look at you. Still I can't deny. Dreams help me get by. Leave me my romantic notions.
When the fog rolls in and the moon is paper thin, people spin romantic notions.
Like an August breeze whistling through the willow trees, such are these romantic notions.
Often when I feel the vines growing tight, I too take a flight of fancy, picturing a dream as if it were true, helps people get through the night.
And come out all right.
We can light a spark when the world is growing dark. Let your vision soar.
That's what dreams are for.
Cherish your romantic notions.
Cherish your romantic notions. It's late.
Yep. I'm gonna sit up a while, okay?
You all right?
Yeah.
Me too. Good night.
Monica, when you go into Lenny now, you're not gonna. Never mind.
Darling, don't be silly. Tonight, I'm all yours.
Guess what's all the rage again? Taking center stage again. Romance. Romance.
come back into play.
What's here